World of Warcraft's Legion expansion arrives on August the 30th and brings with it a whole host of exciting and significant changes. To shed light on what the biggest of these mean for you, here's IGN's guide to the 4 ways that Legion is shaking up World of Warcraft. You have to go all the way back to 2008's Wrath of the Lich King expansion for the last time that Blizzard introduced a new hero class to its World of Warcraft roster. Now, at last, we're getting a new high-level character option in the form of Legion's ferocious demon hunters.
There are demon hunters on my world, Doom Commander. This is unacceptable!
These disciples of Illidan's storm rage are made up of night elves and blood elves who wholeheartedly embrace the twin magics of Fel and Chaos. But while their quest to eliminate the corruption of the Burning Legion is for ultimately the good of Azeroth, the methods they use to achieve their goals are viewed with suspicion by many. As such, they are often treated with fear, mistrust, and outright hatred by the wider world. This is perhaps unsurprising, given the way that demon hunters are able to absorb and wield the powers of the dark beasts they slay, altering their appearance in the process. Nonetheless, their abilities as swift-moving damage dealers, agile tanks, and fighters capable of transforming into hellish powerhouses ensure they'll be welcomed into any raiding party. These lightly armoured Illidari can also choose to specialise in powers that inflict havoc or vengeance upon their foes and inspire fear and respect in their allies. To be honest, being able to transform into a being that can shoot lasers from its eyes makes the long 8-year wait kind of worth it. Over the course of World of Warcraft's 12-year history, Blizzard has experimented with adding class-specific loot, mounts, and quest lines, but the results have sometimes felt a little hit and miss.
I grow tired of your interference!
Enter Artifacts, Legion's solution to how to bestow meaningful and distinct content upon every one of its character classes, while at the same time celebrating what makes each archetype unique. Artifacts are obtained through class-specific quest lines and take the form of weapons that grow in power and stature as your character does. Each features its own upgrade paths and customization options to help ensure that no two are the same and nobody's artifact is quite like yours. Floating skulls, frozen staffs, swords forged from dragon scales, and shields entombed with kings form just some of the artifacts that draw on Azeroth's greatest legends. What's more, artifacts differ between class specializations, making their abilities and appearance even more personal to your own setup. Add to this relics, which will further customize your chosen artifact's ranks, abilities, and traits, and it looks like Blizzard's quest to deliver class-specific content has finally hit jackpot. As World of Warcraft has grown in size, scope, and maturity, so too has Blizzard's approach to expansion content and endgame rewards. Legion is taking this a step further by introducing what Blizzard refers to as a true open world, which turns the concept of leveling and gated content on its head. The revolution begins in the Broken Isles, Legion's vast new questing area, where you find yourself thanks to Wizard Khadgar's cunning plan. After arriving, you'll have the choice of venturing to one of 4 unique areas: Azsuna, Valshara, Stormheim, or High Mountain. Each location offers a stack of content, quests, and opportunities to mine the depths of Azeroth's lore.
Welcome, champion, to Thunder Totem.
And for the first time in World of Warcraft, each area will be fully scalable. This means no more funneling you from one zone to another as you reach a level appropriate to its challenges. Instead, you'll be free to pick any of the 4 in any order and have it adapt its quests, enemies, and loot to you. This will make it easier to team up with friends who are slightly further ahead or behind of where you are, rather than having to wait for them to play catch-up. It will also offer multiple routes to Suramar, Legion's climactic endzone. Rounding out the good news leveling-wise is that Legion will draw its endgame content from a large pool of rotating quests that take place all across the Broken Isles. This will ensure you'll get to revisit multiple areas rather than being stuck in one endgame-specific area. With each new World of Warcraft expansion comes a new set of abilities, new ways to utilise existing favourites, and the chance to reassess those increasingly crowded action bars. Legion makes significant inroads in this area by doubling down on what makes each of the 12 classes and their specialisations unique. In the first instance, this means reworking some abilities to better fit with the raft of new options that Legion brings with it, but also ensuring that specialisations feel and play differently to one another. Then, using these specialisations as a strong foundation, talents and artefact abilities can be earned and handpicked to offer focus tools for any job. The system is also flexible enough to allow for respecking of both specialisations and talents to create loadouts better suited for dungeon raids or PvP. Speaking of which, PvP is getting its own injection of Legion-flavoured variety with the introduction of honour talents. This leveling system sees talents and abilities specific to PvP combat added to World of Warcraft. By earning honor, you'll gain additional options for combat, broadening your options for PvP play, and continuing to make meaningful progress beyond level 110. For the most dedicated players, there's even the option to prestige, effectively resetting your honor level back to 1, but increasing your prestige ranking, offering unique rewards and bragging rights. So there you have it, 4 major ways that Legion is shaking up World of Warcraft. But of course, it doesn't end there. New dungeons and raids, a higher level cap, overhauled animations, new storylines, class halls, character boosts, and literally hundreds of new quests across the Broken Isles makes World of Warcraft's Legion expansion a shot in the arm for Blizzard's MMO. We'll be keeping a close eye on the game, so keep checking back with IGN for all the latest.
See that you